everyone, and welcome to something new, something that is called Cities Skylines. Let's build with me, SimValera, and this time we're gonna be building a big, huge park, and we're gonna call it a Central Park, not necessarily referred to the New York City, but you know, we will get some ideas from that park, but it's just the main park of this city that you have never seen before, and for this reason, we're gonna call it the Central Park. But yes, and how it is different from my usual series that I called Let's Design. Well, in Let's Build series, we will be concentrating only on the like how it is called, like Central Park, because in only park we will be building, nothing else. And so we will be only concentrating on that, and not necessarily in one city. It's just, the city doesn't matter, it's just what we're building matters. And here you can already get a tip from me, a tip piece of advice or whatever. So you see, I'm creating these pedestrian paths, and I'm creating this circle, and each circle that you create in this game has 4 main snap points. And so if you try to make connections to the circle to other points of it, not to the snap points. There are 4 snap points on the circle that are located like 90 degrees to each other, and so if you try to create connections to other points of the circle, this circle might get like a weird shape and just like transform into something weird. So if you don't want that, I guess nobody wants that, you can just make these connections to the main 4 snap points. You can easily find them because they're snap points, and then after you make these 4 main connections, you can just put any paths to the circle, and it will all be good, and the circle will keep its shape, its form. So that's a little piece of advice, I thought. And now I'm just putting some skyscrapers because, again, you know, I got inspired, of course, by the Central Park of New York City, but still not connected. But I thought it is a nice idea to have like some like a contrast, because you know, a park is like something flat. Well, somewhat flat, and then when you have something that is so low, that's just like ground park, and then right next to it you have these huge buildings like skyscrapers, and I think it is quite nice, this contrast. I think it yeah, it just adds this, it's a nice little touch, I don't know. I feel like it looks cool. And so we got this like circle, you know, we have to start with something. So in the middle of this huge park, we got a circle, and you see, I also have a mod that allows me to put these props directly in the game. So I just put some benches, and yeah, so I'm able to put these props that I used when creating assets, and like creating some lots in the assets editor, I believe that's how it's called. But with the help of this mod, I'm able to put these props right in the game, which is so awesome, right? And you know, I guess it is always better to start with like some like main objects, like, you know, benches. It was a nice touch, okay, but those are details, and I believe when you start building something, you better start like with the main stuff, not with like these details like benches. But yes, so here we're gonna have a pond, and how I do a pond is just I lower the ground again with the help of the terraforming tool, and then I put this, how do you call it, like a water creating like this thing. Again, you see on my UI there are these 2 buttons, one for the terraforming tool and one for the water, and that's how I do it. And now we got a pond, which is so great. Like, because I wasn't sure if it's gonna work, but it worked. So that is awesome. We got a pond, we got a couple of pedestrian paths in our park with like some interesting shapes. Now let's have an arc, because why not? And because again in New York there is this arc in the park, not in the central though, but anyway, no reference at all. I thought it is just a nice entrance, and not only in New York, like I know, like I've been to Dublin and there is this St. Stephen's Green Park and it has an arc as well on the entrance, so it is not necessarily like the main entrance, but it kind of is the main entrance for this central park. So we gotta have an arc. I believe it's a nice touch and it just makes things look much more different and much more interesting because they're different. Not only like paths with trees, but also something else like an arc. And here I'm using the like a, how do you call it, like a brush tool, but the mod is called the Ultimate Area Fillers, and I'm absolutely in love with this mod. It allows you to put this like terrain or like, I don't know, pavement or whatever, you see, any way you want, which is very convenient, much useful. So that's what I'm doing. And yeah, it took me some time to put them like in a way so there are no free spots and like, yeah, but I managed to do so. And you know, we have some pedestrian paths and we have some pedestrian roads, again with the help of the mod to traffic plus. I'm using so much mods, Jesus. I will link to them in the description if you're interested. And yeah, you see, we got this little like tiles, or how do you call it, like they match this how do you call it even, pavement matches the tiles that the arc has got. So that is that. So we got this main path, and let's just surround it with some bushes and some like fences, yeah, not sure how they called, but these things. And again some bushes on both sides, because why not? Because makes things look much better, like much pompous, or like a main entrance, so it all works. And then some trees, always nice, since we're building a park. We're gonna have a lot of these, a lot of trees. And yeah, just to like some on both sides. But yeah, I will get rid of what I'm doing right now. I didn't like the way, I felt like it's too much. Yeah, you see, bye. And oops, I accidentally deleted some of these pieces. Let's put them back. Yep, it took a lot of time. That's why it is called Let's Build and Central Park Episode 1. I was hoping that it will take me just one video, but unfortunately this park is, either this park is too big, or either I'm too slow at building and like pay too much attention to details. But yeah, episode 1. Hopefully there will be only episode 2 and that's it, but who knows? Who knows how much time will I need? Hopefully, but hopefully only 2 episodes. And you see, we add some touches, like some bushes and some trees and some paths to this arc, and again some tiles and some pavement on both sides. We kind of do it like symmetric here. Later we will have parking lots, which is like also a nice touch, because not everyone goes to the park by feet. Some use cars, right? So yeah, we will have some parking lots, and here we also have some lines of bushes, and again a somewhat ground path we will have here, again with the help of the pedestrian paths and with the help of these tiles, how do you call it, like pavement things. and with the help of the pedestrian paths, of course. And of course it takes time and it takes patience, but at the end it's gonna pay off because it's gonna be beautiful. Trust me, it's gonna be beautiful. And you see, this way you can make your paths much more interesting, not just draw these pedestrian paths with the help of the tools that we already have. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing, I mean, they work, but when you like have also this like these tiles and all these different kinds of pavement, it just makes it much more interesting, and this, yeah, adds the variety, and yeah, much cooler. And I totally forgot to mention the building I got there. Again, New York inspired. This tall building, again, that works for the contrast. Have these tall buildings and right next to the park that is kinda flat. Yeah. And here we'll also have a church slash cathedral. Yeah, I guess you can call it a cathedral. Because again, why not? Why not? We'll have yeah, not a parking lot right next to it. See, we got a couple of parking lots right next to the arc, but not in front of the cathedral. Because yeah, you see, I think it's a nice touch as well to have a cathedral in the park, and you know, we got a lot of free area, so we need to fill it with something. And you see, as an idea, you can use a cathedral. So I hope that's a good idea that you can use maybe in your parks. But yeah, it got this green roof and it looks really nice. And I believe, yeah, I believe it's from the game, it's not a mod. I believe, yeah, it came with the update or something, but whatever, who cares. You see, all this time we had these pedestrian pavement paths, but now let's have some paths that are like made of the dirt, grave, whatever. Yeah, dirt pedestrian paths. And the pavement ones have this, like this regular and like right shapes, not the right shapes, but like, you know what I mean. And the pedestrian paths, the dirt pedestrian paths have these irregular shapes, and it just again adds the variety. I guess that's my motto. Make the variety for everything that you build, and it's gotta be interesting. Now, what are we gonna be doing now? It took me some time to finally come up with the idea of what we're gonna have inside of this circle. I thought about a fountain or some trees, but what we're gonna have is we're gonna have this flowers. And again, I will use some roses and some trees inside, and it might remind you of a fountain even. You see the technique, because we want a circle, you see, and we don't want to create like a weirdly shaped something that looks like a circle. So that is why I made some more pedestrian paths, and this way they help me to really see where the center of the circle is, and this way we can have a perfect circle inside another circle. And you see, it's perfectly in the middle, and we got like a tall tree inside, and then some smaller bushes right next to it, and then some even smaller flowers inside. And yeah, I think it just makes it much more beautiful and nicer. And you see, it's like a little flower bed, right? Like a flower bed with some different flowers and some trees even, and some bushes, like everything. but we're not gonna have, yeah, just some little bushes right on the, yeah, on the inner line, how do you call it, and that's it. We're not gonna have anything else. I thought about putting also like some trees inside this circle, but no, we only will have these bushes and this flower bed inside the circle, and that's it. And grass. Unfortunately, it's not the greenest grass ever, but it's kind of green, so it works, I guess. I wish I could make it greener. Maybe we can, I don't know. I'll think about it later. And yeah, we will just draw some more paths, because you see what we're gonna have here. Oh yeah, that's right. But how do you call it though? Like a pier, but not really. Right next to the pond, we're gonna have this. I guess you could call it a pier, but like this thing. I mean, isn't that a nice idea? Like, come on, wow, right? Again, it adds the variety. So there you go, yeah. But you see, it complains that it doesn't have a road connection, which is, you know, not really a problem, but I hate when anyone or anything complains about anything. So that's why I made these connections, and I made a connection to this pier that we got there. My favorite word ever. Pier. So we draw some pedestrian roads. Again, we got them with the help of the mod, the Traffic++ mod. And you see, they just look like pedestrian paths, but like a fed ones, the fed pedestrian paths. And you will have this, I guess you can call it a roundabout, since it is a pedestrian road, but yeah, just there's another circle, a smaller one, and we will make connections for everyone. Like for this grand entrance, we'll have a connection, and for this, like some other roads and some paths, so they will all be connected to this smaller circle. So there you go. And we will continue this story of pavement, like tiles, pavement, whatever. I need to learn English. So you see, it makes just so much nicer and so much more interesting. But yeah, you see, you gotta think about putting them as close to each other as you possibly can, because not like as close, but yeah, you need to think about the distance, because you don't want to have some free spots. Yeah, you want to fill in everything. So that's what we did, and now it's perfect. And here, let's just have some more connections with the help of the pedestrian paths. And again, I was all the way, I was trying to create something interesting, and I feel like I was able to. So we will have like a triangle, not really, but something triangular looking here. And of course, let's have some trees around it, and like some bushes inside. I'll also put like a tree inside, but I'm not sure how I feel about it. I will probably get rid of it later. But again, it doesn't really matter, but yeah, I guess I paid too much attention to details. I mean, the tree inside looks okay, but maybe not. Maybe I will get rid of it. And here, yeah, let's just expand our pond, make a nicer shape for it. Like, yeah, you always want to have a nice shape for your pond. Like sometimes you can create it like a shape of a bean or something like, yeah, something like that. Like, yeah, you always need to care about these shapes. But anyway, and we got this kind of a hill, rock, mountain, not really, thing right next to the pond, which is always nice as well. And let's just have some tree lines and some trees everywhere, and here tree lines as well here in this another like grand alley. We got a couple grand alleys already, and here's some like I don't know if you get to call them fences, but yeah, you see, thank God I have this mod that allows to use props right next in the game, so this way we can make this much more detailed and yeah, much more interesting. And but again, it takes some time, so don't mind me, it's gonna take some time. Yeah, I guess you can call it a hedge or hedgerow. I googled it. hedge. Green fence. So that's what we're doing. Looking really good. Because I didn't want to put some bushes because oops, sorry. Because we got so many bushes and so many trees all over the place, so yeah, we always want to have some different kinds of greenery. And yeah, we also had this, we have this skyscraper. If you haven't seen it, I think you have seen it, like this glass tower, looking really good. Again, it's kind of like inside the park, yet not really. And again, it adds this feeling like everything is connected, and it just makes everything looks much smoother, I guess, because we have this like glass tower not on the outside but inside the park, so you can have things both inside and outside. And while I was talking about this, we got a nice greenery inside the circle, and also some of these nice trees. How are they called? Oh Jesus. Yeah, whatever. Some trees here, and cypresses maybe. Yeah, cypresses. And again, whenever I put trees, if you want another piece of advice, here it is. Whenever I put trees, I try to put them not like wherever, but in groups. And I feel like that's how they do in real life. So maybe it's a nice idea, I don't know. Maybe you will find it like it is a good idea to put trees in groups. So if you want to have like a forest, not really, I think it is a nice idea to put them in groups, and to have like 4 trees here, and like 5 trees over there, and some 3 trees over here, and some free spot in between. And yeah, I feel like it's much better rather than putting trees wherever. But again, it's not that bad if you put them wherever, I'm just saying. And here we will have like this pavilion. It is called a pavilion. I'm not sure if you get to call it a pavilion, but how it's called, that's how it's called in the game. And the idea is that like people go around this huge park, and then they turn to this like they make a turn, and they find this beautiful hidden place, this pavilion, and like this hidden place that nobody knows about, that is hidden with like lots of trees around, and you need to really walk inside the park to find it. So that was my idea. And you see, we got inside there like a smaller circle, and yeah, you really need to walk around the park to find it. And you see, I put a lot of trees inside it, just kind of like to hide it. So yeah, so people can get private there, whatever that means, get private. And again, lots of trees everywhere. And you see, we got these parking lots, and let's just put some pavement around them, so this way everything is actually connected. So we make connections to our pedestrian paths and pedestrian roads, and yeah, this way is much better. I'm just in love with this ultimate area fillers mod. So good. And let's have some cypresses. Oh, right in front of the cathedral. And again, lots of trees. This cathedral got lots of like small trees on the backyard, so I'm trying to put some extra small trees right next to them, so this way everything looks like it blends in to each other. But that is it for this episode 1. Hopefully there will be only second episode, but who knows. So if you like this me building Central Park, please give it a like and please stay tuned for the next episode. And until next time, goodbye.